I'd like to introduce U.S. Army First Sergeant James Burse. You correct me when you get up here. Like I'm sorry. So James did tours both in Iraq and Afghanistan, and in total, selflessly and bravely served this country for 9 years. And he's joined here today with his wife, Tiffany. Welcome, both of you. Meeting you for the first time was a little different. I don't think you were nervous at all. Yeah, James came in hot. James has a personality, if you haven't noticed, and this is the first time meeting him. I remember the groundbreak, and I was talking with the Santana family. I didn't have to turn my head. I said, James is here. He's about 150 yards down the road. Right? And James, it's been great getting to know you. I can't help but smile every time I see you or hear you coming, I guess. And as I was thinking back, through the first meeting, through every one of our texts, every one of our meetings since then, there's one thing that really stood out besides your larger-than-life, personality, and it's that you are the ultimate protector and provider, and just an absolute giver in every sense of the word. When I was reading your bio, it said, "Why did you join the military?" And you said, "Well, I wanted to provide a better life for my family and make my family proud." And when you returned from your service, you joined up with Operation Barnabas and, started to donate your time and efforts to help other veterans returning from service to reacclimate them into civilian life. And whatever little bit of time you had left over, you decided to donate it to a youth football team, which I've got kids, and that is a thankless effort. So, you really have everyone's best interests in heart. And every time we've talked to you, whether it was the first meeting when we told you that you're going to be getting this house, you continuously said, "You don't know what this means to me because I can give such a better life to my wife, Tiffany." You never once said anything about yourself. You never once said how this is going to change your life. It was always about what you could do and how this would help you provide a better life for Tiffany. So it means the world to us that we can do something to help you on that mission, and we can do something for you. This is a moment to be selfish a little bit. Maybe go in there, kick up your feet, and enjoy the rest of the day. Right? Tell everyone else, get out of here. This is my house now. So with that said, I want to reintroduce U.S. Sergeant James Burse.
All right, here we go. I'm James. So first, I just want to thank God every which way out my life, growing up in the Bible, growing up and with the Word. You kind of, sometimes I got away from it at a certain point in my life. I remember downrange calling my mom and, telling my mom what I was going through. And she used to give me Psalms 91. And as I, went through the battlefield, I lost a lot of friends, 3 IEDs. I had to learn how to walk again. I continue to hold on to that prayer. So I just want to say thank you, Mom. My dad died a couple weeks ago, so this was pretty hard, but I think it came at the right time because, I think he went away knowing that I was going to be able to have a house where I'm going to be able to go grab my mom, and now my mom can stay with me, as long as she's cooking, she can stay. I'm just kidding. I think, to be for real, that's not my real mom. My real mom died when I was early. She raised me at 6 months, outside of her marriage, without a question, without an ask, like I was hers. So that's my mom. I want to also thank my wife. It's been hard. When we first got together, we were sleeping in a Ford Explorer outside my mom's house. She had strict rules, old Baptist, if you ain't married, you ain't sleeping. So, and then we surprised when we got married. So, thanks to my wife, we started out in an Explorer, an apartment, roommates, to a trailer, till here we go. So I thank you. She's been the better part. Didn't know how good she was going to actually be, but as we've gotten to the 5 years, she's everything I needed. She gets to see the falls. She gets to see, how I get, because, I do get drained, but I try to keep a brave face, and she just sees right through me. She's like, "You're not okay." And I was like, "Man, I guess I'm not." So I'd like to thank my wife for sure. And then there's some people out here, I'd like to thank retired Sergeant Major Mick Frazier.
Woo!
There she go right there. At the later point of my career, PTSD really began to affect me. I think my mom at the time, she hid her breast cancer surgery from me. So I was going through a lot, and I remember sitting outside in the parking lot just weeping, ready to give up. And the Sergeant Major comes up, and she stops that Mercedes, and she gets out, and she's like, "What's wrong with you?" So I was like, "Oh, Sergeant Major, let me straighten up." It was more than just rank. It was love. And that was the first time somebody in my career really gave me a shot to be loved. And I thank you for that, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I would like to thank Operation Barnabas. Operation Barnabas was everything for me as I was beginning to recover. I wasn't homeless at that time anymore, but I remember a guy pulling up to me in a Hellcat, and he looked over, and I had a Hellcat, and I thought we was for the race. And he said one thing to me. He was like, "Are you okay?" And again, somebody else put it out there to me, and I was like, before I could usually be like, "Am I?" I was like, "No." So he introduced me to Operation Barnabas. I went down there to the hurricane 2 years ago, and I served 6 months down there, volunteered. It was what I needed, people's, places, and things. That was what I needed to change my life and get on a trajectory. And they surrounded me with men. Shout out to a lot of the board members that are here. They surrounded me. Iron sharpens iron. A lot of young people like to make fun of old people, but I tell you, we need the old people, because you get to learn some things. You get to see how it looks when you finally get it together. And then you be like, okay, that's how I need to be. So I would like to thank Operation Barnabas for giving me a purpose. Like they said, I work with veteran suicide. I also go out there and I help the kids out. It's my only mission at this point, besides my wife, but that's my main mission. We got a problem. We had 120,000 veterans who killed themselves, and we got a problem. We need to solve it quickly. So moving down here, thanks to Build Homes for Heroes, now I'm able to start a branch off with Operation Barnabas and begin to try to do my work here in Central Florida. So I appreciate the guys at Operation Barnabas. I appreciate Build Homes for Heroes. You guys are awesome. Miss Kim, 7 this morning you got here, and Miss Kim you changed my life. I aspire to be like Building Homes for Heroes one day, because y'all are actually curbing the suicide rate. Y'all are saving lives. And thank you for everything you've ever done for us and our family. And I know this ain't the last time we're going to talk. So I'm going to move on to the guys at Pulte. Let me tell you something about Pulte. I don't know if they're tracking me. But every time I was getting down, and I would go outside my trailer, which is trash, and I'm like sitting there in my head, I'm like, oh, my wife, I know she doesn't like this. I need to figure something out. I get a text from Ryan, where you at? Big dog. I get a text, and it's like, here's a picture. Here's a picture. When it was coming up, and he's like, hey, it's almost time. So, I don't know if you knew, but man, God is good, because every time I was to get down, Ryan got me back up. So I appreciate the guys at Pulte for checking in, doing everything. Shout out to Lowe's. Thank you guys for sure. Nick, where's Nick at? Nick Robinson with Sack. Where they at? Oh, there you go. Hey, he's an Alabama fan, so I'm gonna say it right now. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
So that being said, man, I appreciate everybody coming. I appreciate everybody that was involved. Continue to, that veteran that's out there with the sign up that says hungry or willing to work, man, give him a shot. Give him a hand. You never know. I was that guy, and look at me now. So we always got to give our heroes a shot. I thank you guys for extending your service to the first responders. A lot of people don't realize what first responders go through in their daily lives. I challenge you to go to YouTube and check out those body camera footage. You can see some of the things that our first responders and our police officers and the guys go through every day in our lives. And, sometimes I tell some cops, like, you probably got a little worse than me, because I got to come home and it be done, but you got to go back to work tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So praise God to those guys for the work they do. I thank you for your time, and that's it for me. So have a good day.